Jonny Grave is a guitarist, songwriter, singer, band leader, teacher, musical historian, journalist, photographer, and a bluesman from Washington, D.C. He's grown up in a very musical family, and he was introduced to the sounds of American traditional folk music early on in his life. At age 15, he found himself learning slide guitar techniques from old blues records that the musical family that he was in had around the house. And by 17, he was performing them live. The first time I ever saw Jonny, he was on stage with the Tombstones. And I seen him perform 3 or 4 times before I actually got to meet the man. And good gracious, between the slide guitar and the energy and the jumping around, if you haven't been to a Jonny Grave show, you are in for a treat when you see this man. Check him out on YouTube if you're not in the area to see it. And I should stop talking so that I can introduce you to the guest of the day. And the featured are my special guest. I'm excited. It's great. It is with great pleasure that I introduce you to Jonny Grave. Say hi, Jonny.
Hi, how are you?
One more time. You said hi 3 times now. Thanks for that. Now tell us more than hi. Tell us about you. Tell us about Jonny Grave, the artist. The quick background.
I'm a hack.
Yeah. Oh, come on.
No, I play blues, and because that's a remarkably old style of music. It's goes back several decades in this country. There's a lot of source material to draw from, even those tunes that are only 75, 80 years old. Those go back to older and older and older tunes. So there's a lot to draw from. So I've kind of got my work cut out for me, really. It's less a matter of working hard; it's a matter of collecting songs.
Got it. Now, where does tell us about you outside of the music? So well, first of all, before we do that, I ran through this whole list of all the things that you do. Run me through some of that stuff here. Share with the listeners some of the stuff that you're doing.
First and foremost, I'm a musician. I'm a guitar player. I'm a singer. I'm a songwriter, and I also I tour for that as well. So I'm on the road a lot performing. But in addition to that, I'm also a photographer and a writer for a DC-based online magazine and blog called Proudest Young Things. They tend to write a lot about new current events, bars that are opening up, new restaurants, new things that are happening around town, and I write the history columns. I write about the old stuff. I write about the stuff that's not so contemporary, not so new.
Got it. So that's that music historian stuff you were talking about.
Actually that's another side of the coin too. I work because of the kind of stuff that I play. A lot of it comes from they're called traditionals. It's not they're not necessarily cover songs. I'm not playing a song the same way that, let's say, Robert Johnson or Muddy Waters would have recorded. I'm playing it in a new way, sort of carrying the song forward. So a lot of that requires research. A lot of that requires digging into old recordings from the 1920s and 1930s, which is a lot of fun, but also takes a lot of work too. So that's the musical historian side, and I did some of that work with did a little bit of work with the Clara Barton sessions last year. It was a Civil War music project we did over at the Clara Barton Missing Soldiers office in Chinatown.
Wow. Yeah, I heard about the Clara Barton thing. Folks, if you're looking for that, if they want to find out about the Clara Barton thing specifically, is there somewhere online they can find that?
They can go to clarabartonsessions.com.
clarabartonsessions.com. Check that one out. That was a really cool project that Jonny did here. Now, what about, so outside of the music thing now, Jonny on the personal side, where do we find Jonny? What does Jonny do?
You can probably find me at home with my dog. I had a really busy year in 2016. I traveled more in 2016 than I ever have in my whole life combined. It was a great year. I traveled a lot and had a lot of fun, and now you can find I've got a very slow winter. I'm going to be home until March. So I've got a couple projects to work on while I'm home. But you can find me at the coop on my laptop, working away, booking.
Got it. The Coop in Columbia Heights, and if you're looking for a good coffee shop, check out the coop. And that's
Yes.
right near Jonny. Got it. So working on different projects and the dog, of
Yes.
course. Which the
Yes.
dog's name is?
Stella.
Stella.
Stella's
Oh,
a dog.
got it. And Stella, hashtag Stella's a dog, I think.
My girlfriend
I think
made a
thing.
hashtag. Yeah, the day we got her, she said, "Are we going to create an Instagram account for the dog?" And I said, "That's not an option. That is not. We're not going to do that."
No social media profiles for the dog. Okay.
No, sorry. No,
However.
she's a dog. But we compromised as intelligent partners are one to do in committed relationships. We compromised on a hashtag for the dog. So the hashtag is Stella is a dog, all one word. And if you go look for that on Instagram or on Twitter, you can find pictures of my mutt.
Check out Stella online. I love it. Now, tell us about funniest moment that comes to mind.
Funniest moment on stage or with a dog or
Let's go on stage. I'm sure Stella's got a lot of funny moments, but talk about us on the performer side.
Funniest moment on stage. We were playing. Looking back, it. I could have easily hurt myself. But
This is how every good story
yeah,
starts, Jonny.
yeah. I'm not. I don't want to. I don't. Not to get sidetracked here, but I don't believe that I'm getting old. I do think that I am getting older, and I think one of the joys of getting older is looking back fondly on the times at which you could have died and didn't, and that's the just near brushes with death. So
They don't talk about that in the AARP material
really
they send
don't, yeah.
out, but okay.
Yeah.
So now tell us one of these then.
We're playing at this was May of 2011, and my band and I were playing at the Silver Spring Blues Festival, which was a big outdoor concert. We were one of 10 or 12 bands that played throughout the day. We're sort of in the middle of the day. It was a big crowd. It was a lot of fun. We're having a great time. We're on a stage that was elevated about maybe 5 feet off the ground. Not a huge, not like a big European festival kind of stage, but just
Sure.
this is a reasonably sized regional concert. We're having a ball, and somebody made the mistake of giving me a wireless guitar unit, so I'm flying
All
around
over
the
the
stage.
place.
I'm having a ball. It's great, and I jump off the stage and dancing in the audience. We're all having a great time. And then I get back on the stage, and we're finishing up our last number. That we got the little 2-minute warning from one of the sound guys at the festival there. And he so we're wrapping things up. We're trying to go for a big finish. And I already jumped off the stage, and so I figured can't do that again. So how do you top that? And I figured, well, the best way to top that is to climb on top of the speaker stacks and do sort of a Pete Townsend style split kick in midair, which I did, and I landed. It was great. But while I'm on this speaker stack, my heel slipped, and I caught myself. It was fine, but then I suddenly realized I'm about maybe that's okay. So the speaker stacks were about 5 feet off the ground. I'm already 5 feet off the ground with the stage. So that's about 10 feet in the air, maybe 12 feet, and I'm tottering back and forth, and I can see my father in the crowd, and he's holding this. This is 2011, so it was a flip camcorder. And he's holding one of these things, and he's holding it trained on me, but he's looking away for the entire time that I'm on the speakers, as if to say, I can't watch this. This is terrible, but I really hope I'm getting it.
Okay.
I couldn't stop laughing. I found it just uncontrollably hilarious. Looking back on it, I easily could have slipped and cracked my skull. And
Oh, Jonny, you
Yeah,
had
that's-
me
yeah,
going there.
that's-
So
yeah.
there was no slipping.
No,
there
no,
was no
no,
falling.
no.
After that whole story,
No,
oh my
no,
God, you are
no,
such a
no,
tease. I
no,
love it,
no.
man. Holy smokes! All right, I was ready for the big climax, man.
No,
I love it, but that's
no.
at the same time
Didn't even rip my
12 feet
pants.
off the
No.
ground, no ripping pants.
No.
God, that's amazing. All
Totally
right, so
fine.
next time you see Jonny, make sure you ask him about pants ripping and some of the other fun stories as well, because he's got a lot from all of his time. That's for sure. Now, so what about biggest success moments? You've been at this for a while now. What comes to mind, biggest success moment?
There's too many to count. This. No, I'm kidding. No, there's. I think the biggest, one of my proudest moments was when my buddy Chris Nome from Listen Local First shoehorned me somehow into the Kennedy Center, and this was after playing months and months at Madam's Organ in Adams Morgan, which is it's a bar in sort of one of our big going out neighborhoods. If any listeners in Nashville, Tennessee, it's just like our Broadway. If you any listeners in New Orleans, this is just like Bourbon Street. It's kind of touristy. It's a happening neighborhood. And we're playing there every week, and this is after years of playing at rickety dives and awful bars and just walking out smelling terrible and and just a lot of really sticky, physically sticky situations. Actually, like you walk out of that bar and you feel sticky. Not just Madam's. There's a bunch of bars that we played, but we got a call to play over at the Kennedy Center Millennium Stage, and I've played. We played there in the afternoon, and it was a spectacular show. And there was a show that we had to almost cancel at Glen Echo Park in Maryland. We were able to do a double header that day. We went from Kennedy Center to Glen Echo in about half an hour flat. We hauled it. It was fantastic.
Wow.
And it's for Blues Dance on this big bumper car pavilion. There's about 120 folks that were dancing.
Awesome.
I think the Kennedy Centers they're all seated. They're
Right.
sitting down, and they're appreciative. They clap, but
Yeah.
they're not really moving around a whole lot. We got to Glen Echo Park, and it's like they're performing for us, and just that whole day was so much fun, and it was just I felt really I felt proud. I felt proud that I was able to pull off a doubleheader, to pull it off with a band that I worked hard with, to pull it off with songs and music that I wrote or that I care about very much. It was a really solid, good experience, and I've played at the Kennedy Center 6 times since then.
Wow, and Kennedy Center is one of those. I feel like people talk about some of the venues around DC, like the 930 Club, as a status thing if you played 930. But I also feel like Kennedy Center is up there for musicians as you've played the Kennedy Center. It's a different caliber and a different feeling.
It really is, and that hallway there is. Here's your fun DC architecture history fact, that the grand hall of the Kennedy Center is so long that if you took the Washington Monument and laid it on its side, you would still have room to spare inside the grand hall of the Kennedy Center. It's that deep.
Wow.
So hearing the snare on sound check was that was fun. Just hearing the ricochet take 5 seconds to come back to you.
Absolutely. Holy smokes.
But one of the great things about that not just the venue, but particularly the Millennium Stage, which I think that opened in 2000. The staff at Millennium Stage has been putting on a free concert every night, 365 nights a year, putting on free music for not just for locals, but for out of towners. If you're in town and you want to go see a show at the Kennedy Center for free, you can. They're hour-long performances, and they happen every night, and it's a great mix of local or DC-based, national, international, and a wide swath of genres. They're good folks. I really enjoy what they do.
Now, so one of the last things I love to ask in the interviews is, what's one piece of advice that you'd love to offer?
Oh, don't give up. That's easy. I mean, have it clear. Well, I should say it's the 2-step there. If you've got an idea, polish the idea. Make sure that you've got a clear image of your idea, something that you can explain in about 30 seconds, and then do it. And don't stop doing it. Don't quit. Do not give up.
What's that been for Jonny Grave?
Just playing gigs. I record a lot. I don't sell that many. I don't sell a whole bunch. I sell some at shows and I sell some online. But for me, I play gigs. I perform, and I perform about maybe 3 to 4 times a week. I did a final count for 2016. I played 185 shows in 2016.
Good gracious.
So that's more than every other night. I was very happy about that, but a lot of that is just my own stubborn perseverance.
Got it. Now, so to bring it to a close here, a couple. I know you said you had mentioned before the show that there's something exciting you had coming up, and then also, folks, if they want to find out more about Jonny Grave, where do they go?
Well, if you want to find out more about me, just go to jonnygrave.com. It's Jonny, JONNY, GRAVE .com. Jonny with an H. Jonny Grave is a guy in the Netherlands who sometimes answers my mistyped emails. There's a couple cool things that are coming up, but I've got a winter off. I'm gonna be in town until March. I'm gonna hit the road again, head south in mid to late March, back through North Carolina, Virginia, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, Mississippi. But the fun gig in town in Washington D.C. proper, or sorry, in Clarendon, just up the road from the studio where we're sitting right now, is a great club called Iota, and they're doing another classic albums night. Jason Mendelsohn, a buddy of mine who's a multi-instrumentalist and a composer, great guy. He's putting together another classic albums show where he picks a year, and then he picks some DC based musicians, and they put together they play classic albums from that year live. So there's going to be a great DC based band called Oh He Dead playing Abbey Road from the Beatles. Alex Vans and his band are playing Hot Rats from Frank Zappa, and my band, Jonny Grave and the Tombstones, were playing Led Zeppelin 2 from 1969.
Wow. That sounds like a phenomenal night.